what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Angie. Now for today's video, I will be doing the 30-day film challenge. Now normally for these types of challenges, you're supposed to do them on Instagram, and that's actually where I found it. But I thought it'd be a cool idea to do it in video form, and that's what we're doing. So let's get started. The first film you remember watching. For me, it has to be Titanic. And Titanic came out in '97, and I was born in '97, so I watched it pretty early. A film you like that starts with the first letter of your name. So that would be A, and I picked Across the Universe. Now, Across the Universe is basically a coming-of-age musical, but the unique thing about this film is that all the songs in the film are Beatles songs, and the movie basically takes place in the time where the Beatles were together to when they break up. And I really like this movie because I am a die-hard Beatles fan. I grew up with the Beatles. The Beatles hold a very special place in my heart, and I had to give this movie some love. A film that has more than 5 words. So I picked 10 Things I Hate About You. 10 Things I Hate About You is one of those classic teen movies that you have to watch at least once in your life, and it's a really good modern adaptation of a Shakespeare play, which is The Taming of the Shrew, and on top of that we get to see young Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Heath Ledger. I mean, come on, look at them. A film you like with a number in the title. Now this one was so hard for me to pick because it turns out I actually like a lot of films with a number in the title, but I narrowed it down and I went with 127 Hours. This film is so good. James Franco does an amazing job in this film, and on top of that, it's based on a true story. It basically follows this hiker who falls and gets stuck, and he documents his entire journey of dealing with the situation. And this film is, it will get under your skin, literally. A film where a character has a job you want. For this one, I picked Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because Leonardo DiCaprio, who plays Rick Dalton, also plays an actor in the film, and I feel like his character was very relatable to any aspiring actor or actress because it really shows the pressure that actors put on themselves to maybe look a certain way, or even how they deliver a performance. And I feel like it was really relatable to see what exactly goes on in the actor's head and how much pressure they put on themselves. Having said that, Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio give a great performance in this film. Your favorite animated film. For this one, I have to go with Zootopia. Disney and Pixar can never disappoint. This movie had me laughing from the minute that it started. All the characters were really well developed, especially with the iconic DMV scene with the sloth. And honestly, I feel like the actual story of this film kind of goes into a deeper concept that I feel the world can really relate to. A film that you will never get tired of. If you have seen my 50 random facts about me, you will know that I can almost recite the entire movie Chicago word for word. And how did I do that? By watching the movie a billion times. A film where you like the soundtrack more. For this one, I have to go with Saturday Night Fever. I personally didn't like the film that much, but the soundtrack featured nothing but the Bee Gees, and y'all know I love my 70s music, so the Bee Gees are always a win. A film you hate that everyone else liked. Now for this one, I know I'm gonna get so much hate for it, but I have to go with Bridesmaids. I know, I'm sorry, but I just didn't think it was that funny. The only part where I laughed was when they had explosive diarrhea, and that's it. Other than that, I didn't think it was that funny. Ugh, I can already hear my subscriber count go down. Your favorite superhero film. For this one, I have to go with Thor Ragnarok because I really love how they completely changed the character and the personality of Thor into like this funny guy, because in my opinion, I feel like the first 2 Thor movies were kind of boring, and so this one was just the complete opposite. It had me laughing from beginning to end, and it was just a really funny movie. A film you like from your least favorite genre. Now, I love all genres of films. I will always give a movie a chance, but my least favorite would have to be horror. So for this one, I picked The Babadook because this movie goes deeper into the fact that this mother and son are in a deep depressed state that they become psychotic. And I feel like that's what really made the movie scary because it can actually happen. I highly recommend you watch this movie, just don't watch it at night because it scared me. A film that you hate from your favorite genre. I'll have to say that my favorite genre is musicals, so for this one, I have to go with Grease 2. Who let this happen? Come on. A film that puts you in deep thoughts. Now for this one, I decided to go with Donnie Darko because this movie, when it came out, I feel like it was really ahead of its time, and it's one of those movies that makes you think about what the hell happened in this movie, and also just kind of makes you want to think about life in general. It kind of goes into the topic of how everyone has a set fate, and if you were to change one thing about your life, how exactly would that have affected you and the people around you? So I highly recommend watching this movie. A film that gave you depression. This was another hard film for me to pick, but for some reason the first one that came to mind was $1 Million Baby. This movie is really sad. It follows an amateur boxer and her training with her coach, and it just kind of shows every obstacle that is put in her way with her family and her experiences. Like, it's just really sad, and Clint Eastwood and Hilary Swank give a great performance in this film. A film that makes you happy. For this one, I have to go with Aladdin. Aladdin is always a good idea with the singing, the dances, and of course, Robin Williams will always put a smile on your face. His jokes were so subtle, but they were hilarious.
I can't believe it. I'm losing to a rug.
A film that is personal to you. Now, I could have easily put La La Land for this category, but I want to keep true to this challenge, so I don't want to mention the same movie twice. So for this one, I will have to go with Midnight in Paris. And I know this movie is kind of controversial because the director is controversial, but nonetheless, it is still a beautiful movie. It is personal to me because I have actually been to Paris, France twice, and I fell in love with the city. It follows Owen Wilson's character in which he travels through time in Paris and he goes and visits his literature idols. So you will see Scott Fitzgerald, Ernest Hemingway, as well as many painters like Picasso, Henri Matisse, and this movie is just so beautiful because it really talks about the artists, the literature, everything that Paris had to offer, and I feel like that's what this movie is. It's basically a love letter to Paris, and it follows this character as he gradually falls in love with the city. Favorite film sequel. For this one, I have to go with Kill Bill Volume 2. This movie does not need any explanation or any introduction. All you need to know is that you need to watch Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2. A film that stars your favorite actor or actresses. Now for this one, I have two, one for the actor and one for the actress. So for the actor, I will have to go with the movie Prisoners, Jake Gyllenhaal. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk about that movie because I'm scared that I'm gonna give something away, but you should really watch it. It's so good. Oh, so good. And for the actress, I will have to go with The Devil Wears Prada because in general that cast is amazing. Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, Emily Blunt, Stanley Tucci. Like, that film is just another one of those classic like rom-coms, but it's still a good film and it has a great cast. A film made by your favorite director. For this one, I have to go with Whiplash, directed by Damien Chazelle. I'll let you guess what other movie he directed. But this movie gave me so many emotions. It basically follows the life of this student who quickly gets an obsession with trying to become the best drummer, and you see his journey of being taught by this harsh instructor played by J.K. Simmons, and oh, J.K. Simmons' performance is amazing. Like, this movie is just so good. I highly, highly recommend you watch it. A film that changed your life. Now, I said I only wanted to put this movie for one slot, so I knew I had to give La La Land this slot. This movie has so many deeper meanings for myself, and I can honestly say that I would not be where I am in my life now if I had not watched this movie. A film that you dozed off in. Star Wars: The Last Jedi. I don't think I need to explain myself for this one. A film that made you angry. Now, I have two for this one because I wasn't sure how to interpret this question. So I have one because it made me angry of how they made it, and this will be the Cirque du Freak Vampire's Assistant because if you read the Cirque du Freak series, you will understand why someone would be angry. They completely ruined a great 12-book series in a matter of an hour and a half. It was disgusting. This series could have easily been another Harry Potter or Twilight franchise, and they ruined it. They got stuff that happened in the 12th book and in the first book and they put it together. It just completely ruined the series. Like, I don't understand how the author gave people permission to make this movie. Now, a movie that makes me angry because of the context that actually happened in the film, this one will have to be A Time to Kill. This movie stars Samuel Jackson, and just everything that happened with his character and his daughter in the film is just... Next topic. A film made by a director that is dead. For this one, I have to go with Some Like It Hot. This is another classic movie that you just have to watch, and it is an older movie, but it's actually really funny. It is about two men who witness a murder, and in order for them to be safe, they go off and they disguise themselves as women in a jazz band. And in that, one of the characters falls in love with the actress, which is Marilyn Monroe. And fun fact, that's actually Jamie Lee Curtis's dad. So if you liked white chicks, you are most likely like this movie because it's basically the same storyline. A film you wish you saw in theaters. For this one, I have to go with Roma because I did watch it on Netflix, and even watching it on Netflix alone, the movie was so beautiful, I wish I saw it in theaters. I think what happened was they were only showing it in selective theaters, and so I think that's why I didn't watch it in theaters, but I really wish I did. A film you like that is not set in a current era. This one, I had to go with 1917. This movie was... oh my gosh, it was amazing. I really loved this movie. I was in awe. It was so beautiful to watch, and I was just... it was such a good movie. Like, if you didn't watch it in theaters, you should have, because it was amazing. A film you like that is adapted from somewhere. For this one, I picked The Godfather because I have actually read the book, and the movie is one of those that it's so accurate to the book. That's what makes the movie so good. And if you read the book, you will understand what I'm trying to say. I feel like they did a really good job adapting the book and turning it into a movie. A film that is visually striking to you. This one has to go to The Revenant because the cinematography in that movie was absolutely amazing, and the fact that they used natural light, like, do you understand how hard that is, how time consuming and difficult that is to pull off? And it was beautiful. I was so happy that I was able to see that in theaters because amazing. A movie that made you feel uncomfortable. For this one, I have to go with the movie Tusk. If you haven't seen it, I honestly don't even know how to explain it to you. You have to watch it. But it made me really uncomfortable with a certain scene. I don't want to say which one, but you should really watch this movie. But other than that, I mean, the acting was really good, and it was actually a pretty interesting movie. It was just a certain part that made me feel uncomfortable. A film that makes you want to fall in love. I know this is so cliche, but I have to go with The Notebook, mainly because Ryan Gosling's character Noah shows how much he cares about Allie and how much he loved her. Like, I have to give in. Like, it's just really sweet. So yeah, The Notebook. Plus I cry like a baby every time I watch it. And a film that has your favorite ending. This one, the first one that came to mind would have to be Parasite. Again, this is another movie where I can't really talk about it because I'm scared that I'm gonna give something away. So you just have to watch it, and the ending was just so sad, and the actual deeper meaning behind it, it's just... oh, like, it was so good. I highly recommend you watch this movie. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like it and comment below if you've seen any of the movies that I mentioned, or if you want to go ahead and do this challenge in the comment section. That would be awesome. I'd love to read all your movies. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Go ahead and subscribe, and while you're at it, click that bell to get notified when I post a new video. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!